Good morning, welcome. This is day 50 of our push-up challenge to try to do 100 push-ups, and we're giving ourselves 100 days to get there. Really cool to hear that at least one of my clients is already able to do 100 of the push-ups. Not me so much, but yeah, nice to see that there's progress taking place. My struggle over the last 10 days has been real. We here in New Zealand have been hit with the tragedy of Cyclone Gabrielle, and on the Kapiti coast we've had a couple of earthquakes, so anxiety levels are pretty high, coupled with a new moon at on Monday, all culminated in a struggle, I think, to stay focused on doing the push-ups themselves. Not that I've given up on the challenge, but I found in the last 10 days that actually doing more than about 20 was difficult, and so I've backed off and continued with the yoga in support of the challenge. And today's video you will see me go through what I'm doing to help to continue on the journey towards those 100 push-ups for myself. First thing has been the shoulder release and using the belt, which I mentioned in the last video, which came in on the back of discussions about that dowager's hump and that tightness that we get in the top of the neck, and as we lean forward we send the neck forward and our posture comes out of alignment. Also, while I was watching videos, I came across a comment that that area relates to our connection to spirit, which I found fascinating, and with the tightness that sits in that particular area. Anyway, it all helps and it all creates a better posture, and I think looking at the video towards the end when I'm sitting in that easy cross-legged pose, I definitely feel as if the spine is longer and straighter, so I'll take that as a small win. My push-ups themselves only did 2 sets of 8 today, but they were full push-ups, and I will go back onto my favorite log to work out how many I really can do when I take the arthritis in my hands out of the equation and look at the strength that I really am building, because that is still a limiting factor. I've taken quite a bit of effort into the side body. I know we talk a little bit about, or actually a lot about, strength in the core and the front of the body, and then we miss the lower back and the strength in the back, and obviously I think it goes without saying that we're also looking at the shoulder strength. We can work as long as we like, but what I find is that what gives out first is the good form, and that comes back to the core. I concluded fairly quickly that it was actually the side muscles that were where I was starting to fatigue. So this video shows quite a few variations of side planks, low side plank, high side plank, side plank to plank, and then a time held in low plank, which I think was about 1 minute. I think you can gather from what I'm saying that it's a bit like my life. It's all over the place, and but it's all building towards something. May not seem immediately obvious how all of the pieces of the puzzle come together, but I feel confident that they do at some point all come together, and it's about trusting in the process and letting go of the expectations about how it will look, so that we can work our way through to better strength. Off the mat, as I said, one of the big things has been the impact of the cyclone and the devastation in the north of the North Island. Not affected here, and in fact incredibly lucky to not have had the winds and rain that were forecast, but the collective grief that comes up and anxiety is palatable, and it does really raise the question of how we can be of assistance or how we can help in times like this, because there is a need and a desire to help fellow man. Best I could do was to hold light for others and to help to clear anxiety, and that's what I've been teaching in the studio for the last week, is about how we can contribute to a positive outlook, but not a frivolous outlook. And I really struggled to post anything that wasn't of any meaning, because why would you do that when there is so much tragedy and so much difficulty? It just seems like a waste of a good platform. And yeah, I guess that the struggle is ongoing as to how that can look, that we can contribute to helping each other in a meaningful way. One other further teaching that came up was on the back of the new moon, and understanding that cycle that included the earthquake and the cyclone, and a lot of personal change for most people. It's been and gone. The emotion of the situation has actually gone, and what is left now is the cleanup, the small bits that need to be dealt with, the fallout, I guess you could say. But the fallout doesn't have an emotional attachment unless we hold on to it. So the quicker we clear it from the emotional body, the quicker we can be useful in terms of helping with the recovery. And that new moon was very much an opportunity to step into the next stage, which is the next cycle, which has its own challenges, and we'll follow that through the next 29 and a half days as to what those, we'll know within the next few days what the challenge is, and then we'll work that part of the puzzle for as I say, the next 29 and a half days. So I will leave the conversation at this point. Thank you for watching, and I hope that some of these yoga poses, including the strap and the block and everything else that I could find, are helpful in terms of your own yoga practice. And yeah, thanks very much for listening. Right, bye.